The girl list. What is it? The girl list is something that I wrote in my personal journal when I was 16, and today I'm going to share with you a teeny weeny little bit of the psychology behind the girl list that I wrote at age 16. Now you have to understand that at age 16 I was a completely different person. I was going through a lot of crazy things in my life at that time, and that's also when I developed my first relationship with a girl. But before I got into a relationship, I had the girl list, and this list consisted of 10 things that a girl has to be or has to do in order to qualify her as a dating partner. The list that I'm about to share with you is very embarrassing, and I think you guys are going to be quite shocked at some of the things that I say on this list. And I would just like to further clarify that in no way does this represent me now. In fact, this list is just, I look back at it and I'm embarrassed that I would write something like this and actually hold some of the beliefs that I held back then. So these 10 reasons, I used to do my journal in this is a sketchbook, but these 10 reasons I have on this book is what I wrote back in when I was 16. And I exclusively say here, I will not date a girl unless... Can you guess the first one? Number 1, she has to have brown hair. So, I will not consider a girl, I will not look at a girl, I will not consider liking a girl unless she has brown hair. I admit I do like brunettes. I have nothing against blondes, but the fact that I'm being as this picky, I'm like, I will not date a girl unless she has brown hair, that's kind of crazy, but heck, I was a naive 16-year-old kid. 2, she has to have piercings. So again, unless that girl has brown hair and piercings, she's not an option. 3, she has to like skateboarding. So now we have she has to have brown hair, she has to have piercings, and she has to do skateboarding or like skateboarding. This doesn't kind of show you where I was at that stage at age 16, kind of my emo dark stage, I don't know what does. 4, she has to have straight teeth. Now this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. So she has to have brown hair, she has to have piercings, has to like skateboarding, but if you don't have straight teeth, if you have a little gap or you have a chipped tooth, no. I'm sorry, I can't date a girl who has, does not have perfect teeth. You're just... Why would I date you? You don't have straight teeth. Now this one is certainly interesting. Number 5, she has to weigh over 120 pounds. So I wouldn't date a girl unless she likes skateboarding, has straight teeth, has brown hair, has piercing, and she has to weigh over 120 pounds. Do you not kind of get the idea that I was really, really picky and if they don't meet this criteria, I'm not going to consider them. Man. What's crazy about she has to weigh over 120 pounds is some women can't help weighing under 120 pounds. Some girls are naturally skinny, and I can't believe that I actually say I won't date you unless you weigh a certain weight. That's terrible. That's no different than saying I won't date you unless you're unless you weigh like 90 pounds and a girl's like 150 pounds and she can't, get to that low or whatever. It's just, my mindset back here was just ridiculous. For those of you who don't know, I'm a curve guy. I like curves. Number 6, she has to love dogs. This is kind of, whether a girl likes dogs or not, I'm not going to base me dating her off whether she likes dogs or not, but that is something I would like a girl to like dogs, because I love dogs, so that would be something I actually would like to have in a relationship, is a both equal love for dogs, but that's not a necessity. What bothers me about this list is that all these things are a necessity, like they have to qualify and they have to have each one of these things in order for me to date a girl. 7, must love coffee. That's not a bad one. But again, if she doesn't like coffee, that's perfectly fine. 8, Now this is actually, I think this is the only valid thing in this entire list of 10 things that a girl has to meet, the girl list, is number 8, she has to eat meat. Like, I don't have a problem with being with a girl who's a vegan or vegetarianism, but I don't know if I could be in a relationship with a girl who could not eat meat or have dairy products or whatever it is. Like, I think that would be really hard for me because I eat a lot of that type of stuff, and it would be really difficult for me to be in a relationship buying different types of food. One, because she eats a certain types of food, and I don't eat a certain type of food. I would find that very difficult to have a relationship that way when we don't even eat the same things, and much less I couldn't cook her the types of meals that I like to cook, because I like to cook, and I want to cook for a girl. Assuming I ever get a girlfriend again and we go in a relationship, I want to cook for her. And I would like to be able to cook for her some of my crazy, awesome recipes that involve meat. It would just suck if I couldn't make that for her. Number 9, this is another bad one. She has to love Star Wars. Yes, I wrote this at age 16. I'm a huge Star Wars guy. And the reason why this no longer applies is that I would rather have a girl who has never seen Star Wars, or maybe she saw Star Wars when she was really young and doesn't really remember much of it, and I would rather sit down with her and expose her to Star Wars with me. But if she likes Star Wars, that's awesome. That's a big plus, but it's not a detriment to a relationship. I'm not going to date you if you're a Star Trek fan. If you don't like Star Wars, I'm not going to date you. I mean, this is so ridiculous. And number 10, now some people may take this wrong, she must be a white Caucasian. And the reason I wrote this, I remember at age 16, is because at that time in my life, I had never been interested in a Japanese girl or Korean girl or a black girl. I had never seen girls of different colors, whether it be black or ethnicities, that I felt attracted to. And that's what this statement was based on. It was based on attraction, because I'd never seen a black girl who I was attracted to. Therefore, I put this comment, she has to be a white Caucasian. I'm trying to think, is that racist? I don't think it is. I don't know. Must be a white Caucasian. I'm not saying that I wouldn't date a black person. I'm just saying that in this list, I'm saying that that's what I want, is a white Caucasian girl. But yeah, those are the 10 things that's the girl list. She has to qualify for brown hair, piercings, likes skateboarding, has straight teeth, weighs over 120 pounds, has to love dogs, must love coffee, has to eat meat, has to love Star Wars, and must be a white Caucasian. One thing I will be doing, though, is if I ever have a significant other, what I'm going to do is, when we're in our relationship, I'm going to show her my journals, my handwritten journals that I wrote when I was 15, 16 years of age, because I did a lot of writing back then in journals, and I'm going to showcase them to her and show her how crazy I was back then. I have a page when I was 13, no joke, when I was 13, I wrote I wrote an entire page, a notebook page of writing, handwritten, about this girl who I liked, who I thought had really sexy legs. And in my paragraph, I'm like going on about how curvy they are and how she has nice legs and she must shave them every day. And I was only like 13 years old. 13. And I'm like, wow, I mean, I didn't really even know much about sex back then, but my goodness, I certainly noticed the legs of a female, the fact that I wrote a whole page about it. I don't know, I look back at it and I find it cute, but I also find it embarrassing that that was actually me back then, especially who wrote this list right here. But in response to this girl list, people often ask me, Daniel, what do you look for in a woman now? And it really only boils down to, I think, 3 basic things of what I look for in a woman. I don't care about weight, I don't care about breast size, I don't care about hair color, I don't care about eyes, I don't care about skin color. I don't care about any of that stuff. What I care about and what I'm looking for in a woman is basically 3 qualities, and those 3 qualities are, number 1, she has to have standards, and when I say standards, all I mean simply is she has to know what she wants in a relationship, and she has to be someone who will not settle for less. And when I say settle for less, I mean a girl who just oh, I'm gonna get the easiest guy or easiest girl that I can, you know, because whatever, they don't have standards for what they want in a relationship. They have no boundaries in a relationship. They're just like, yeah, whatever goes, we're just gonna be dating, I'm gonna date this guy, date this girl, that, whatever. I mean, so many guys and girls I know nowadays don't have any standards, and they just settle for whatever they can get. And I'm not like that, and I don't want a woman or a significant other that just will settle for whatever she can get off of a guy or someone else. The second thing I look for in a woman is that she has to be a sincere person. And when I say sincere, I mean someone who actually knows how to care for someone. Because in my past relationship, and I don't like talking about it on YouTube, I never felt loved by my partner at that time. I was taken advantage of by her. She was a girl who wanted a boyfriend just to have one, and I happened to be her little toy puppet in which she saw that I had low self-esteem, jumped on it, took advantage of me, and throughout that relationship I never felt loved or I never felt cared for. In fact, I never felt really anything out of that relationship except that everything was my fault and that I was a failure in everything, and that I was the problem in our relationship. That's the only thing I ever felt from that almost 2-year relationship. And I want someone, a girl who can be sincere and genuine about her feelings, whether it's about me, and not someone who's just going to say what she thinks I want to hear. And my third thing that I look for in a woman is the ability and care for other people. This is something that I consider very highly in my own life, and that is serving other people, helping other people in any way you can. And I would like to be involved in a relationship with a woman who also has this same desire to help people. Not a girl who's, you know, self-centered on how she looks every single day or how pretty she is. Superficial people like that. I don't want someone like that. I want someone who is more focused on others rather than herself. And I realize that in our society today, that is a very rare trait in a woman. But nonetheless, those are my really only 3 things that I look for in a woman. And that's what I want. I mean, yes, there are smaller things I would like in a woman also, but those are the 3 main things, is being a sincere, genuine person, the ability to care for other people other than herself and serving them, and a girl with standards. And that's a hard thing to ask in today's world, but that's what I look for. I don't care about the breast size, I don't care about her weight, I don't care about any of the stuff that is written in here. That doesn't matter to me. And also, I guess I could add a fourth thing that I look for in a woman is a good personality. That's also a really important thing. So yeah, that's the girl list. I hope you guys maybe got a kind of an idea of what I was like at 16. I was definitely not the same person I am now, thankfully. I've grown a lot spiritually within that time, and I've grown a lot in terms of everything, really. So now I'm going to go I'm going to edit this video, upload it, and then I'm going to go read, and I know people are going to laugh at this, Real Marriage: The Truth About Sex, Friendships, and Life Together. This book got fantastic reviews, and I'm reading through it because I think one of the greatest things a guy or girl can do is prepare themselves for marriage or a relationship, and these types of books, to me, are very helpful on knowing what you want in a relationship and how to develop the relationship and grow it to make it stronger. So, with that said, I'm Mr. Repzion, also known as Daniel Sulzbach. Thanks for watching. Peace the Rep out.